Hello and welcome to Citrix Converge 2020. Hope you're enjoying the online sessions, learning with the broader Citrix community, and also staying safe and staying healthy. 2020 has been pretty interesting so far. And what we have learned is that we can really collaborate online and learn from each other and share the learning. And that's the core theme of this conference. So today, I want to talk about the Citrix networking solutions and how we are making progress towards the vision of the world of autonomous networks driven by the networking DevOps and the security DevOps, right? So the DevOps culture, end of the day, is everywhere, and that culture kinds of make the difference of how you take the existing networks towards the future and vision of autonomous networks. Before we get started, obviously, this is in this session, I'm going to talk about vision and roadmap and things which we are planning. So absolutely, all of the roadmap is subjected to change, and also it is part of the broader kind of NDA material. So please take care of that. But in general, I would encourage you to look at these core concepts around autonomous networks and relate to where Citrix is headed. Now, our core vision is essentially all about taking the existing application delivery and application security use cases and the network towards the intent-driven autonomous network, which operates on a very simple business-driven intents and objectives, and it kind of self-heals itself based on the analytics which we generate through our statistical models as well as the machine learning driven models. And all of this analytics and data can be integrated into any third-party ecosystem, and also it is programmable and automation friendly for the entire hybrid and multi-cloud application deployment journey, because we understand our customers are not in one place. They are distributed, their networks and applications are distributed across hybrid and multi-cloud. So we want to make sure the benefit of autonomous networks using the core automation principles are available across the hybrid and multi-cloud deployment topology. Let's understand how the networks of today have evolved, right? I mean, we all started with the data center, which is primarily on-prem, and then we kind of slowly went about extending the network to a variety of infrastructures covering your private cloud, hosted private cloud, SaaS, and web, and public clouds. And then what we saw is that your public cloud deployment is kind of expanding again into the choice of public clouds, which could be your top 3 or more across various regions, and then the public cloud coming back down to your private cloud infrastructure in terms of, like, for example, AWS has got AWS Outpost, Azure has got Azure Stack, and Google has got Google Anthos. So when you think about the evolution of network and application delivery footprint, it is really about capturing this hybrid multi-cloud infrastructure from where the application needs to be delivered. And when our customers talk about delivering applications, or the application owners or application developers look at delivering applications, they want a consistent approach and automation-friendly approach across hybrid multi-cloud. Now, before I really go into how do we do it, I really want to spend a couple of minutes understanding what is current automation maturity in modern networks, right? So essentially, everything started with being manual. You could use your hands to do everything, and be in complete control. But then you realize that it has several drawbacks. So we kind of moved to the scripted environments where you could create simple scripts, automating the repeated tasks, and then we moved on to more of automated policies and predefined policies which work based on certain thresholds, certain rules which are preset based on the application and the network requirement. And then we really kind of started thinking about that, hey, how do we take this current network and requirement into a more automated and orchestrated networks where you can use the broader automation frameworks, the broader tools and technologies, and now frameworks like SDN and NFV for telcos. So you start really thinking about how do I connect the end-to-end dots into a completely orchestrated and run through the code network. And the evolution of orchestrated networks is going to go towards what we call the intent-driven networks, where you're bound to use artificial intelligence and ML-driven analytics, which will provide you the data to make smart decisions and provide the data to the orchestration systems to make much smarter decisions about your network and application delivery footprint. So if we really break it down, so most of the current networks are, in between the first three pillars, from being manual to being policy driven. And the modern networks, the advanced networks, are really kind of moving towards the last two pillars of being orchestrated. And then, we are yet to see really an intent-driven network, which is what, we really see as a vision for us to go explore and use the core DevOps principle in the networking and security aspects of it, and create a real intent-driven autonomous network, which works beautifully in a very orchestrated way, and everything kind of taken care of, and everything covered from application delivery point of view as well as application security point of view and use cases. Now, you also need to look at the journey, right? So the roles in IT and application delivery and security have evolved from being the core DevOps roles to the net DevOps or the sec DevOps role. And there are very clear reasons of why it has to happen this way. I just wanted to list down a few really important ones so that we are talking about the common theme here. So you really need the roles to evolve, because today when we talk about networks and application delivery, we all talk about speed. You need agility. You need to fail fast, provide visibility, scalability. You need consistent policies and procedures and routines to be applied, and very importantly, you need analytics, because most of the decisions you make today is based on the insights and analytics which is coming from your network and application delivery footprint. You need artificial intelligence, and what, security can't be a afterthought. So these are the various whys of why the roles are evolving, and why this evolution is really, really important, and what do we need to do is about adopt the modern practices of CI/CD, adopt configuration management, the built-in continuous monitoring, continuous testing, more focus on security, evolving towards the cloud-native workloads and orchestration principles. And how you're going to do it is by looking at infrastructure as code, looking at your entire security posture as code. You want more and more programmable interfaces. You want software-defined networks, which are either driven by open frameworks or proprietary frameworks. You need more vulnerability scanning, security posture built into how you need to evolve towards the really automated and orchestrated autonomous networks. I know it's a lot of data, but it's just important to understand the why, what, and how of how you're going to go achieve to the vision of autonomous networks for application delivery and security use cases. Now, here I come back to the initial slide where we talked about how networks have evolved into the broader hybrid and multi-cloud view. And here you can see how Citrix ADC and the Citrix SD-WAN technologies play a big role in various legs of the network, where we sit and help with application delivery as well as application security use cases. And we have a central orchestration engine, which we call the Citrix ADM service, which sit as a central orchestrator in cloud. It's a SaaS offering, which provides you control, which provides you monitoring, configuration, provisioning, orchestration, and then it kind of pulls in a lot of data from the proxies and generate efficient analytics for you to make smarter decisions. So Citrix ADM becomes the one single touch point for entire application delivery stack deployed on hybrid and multi-cloud environment. Now, as we evolve, right, we keep looking at how do we do the integration, right? So we developed this Citrix observability exporter module so that you can get a lot of data, a lot of insights out of the Citrix ADC application delivery and security use cases, and take this insight to the external ecosystem of, this particular ecosystem is all about cloud native use cases. You can use it in the 3-tier use cases as well. But, how do you integrate? How do you take this data and insights and work with the external ecosystems for better analytics and better control decisions? Similarly, we integrate with all of the hybrid multi-cloud automation-friendly tools and resources and templates like, we have Ansible integration, Terraform integration. We have got CloudFormation templates, Azure and Google integration. So immaterial of which infrastructure you are looking at, delivering your application from or securing your application in, we have integration with all of these infrastructures, and we make sure that the vision of autonomous network can be carried on to all these hybrid multi-cloud infrastructures, and providing you a same set of use cases, like providing you the similar capabilities, making sure you have common automation requirements, you have common security and application delivery use cases, which can be done in a consistent way across all of these infrastructures using different kind of automation tools and frameworks. Now, what have we done really on the products to enable this journey? What have we done on the products, right? So, when we look at it, there are 4 key product, evolution points, like the Citrix ADC, ADM service, the cloud SDN control points, and the cloud native journey, where we have made big product changes. Again, I may not go through every bullet points, but just to give you an idea that on Citrix ADC, we start with APIs, we provide you SDKs, you can use all sort of automation toolkits and frameworks. We have done, feature enhancements like in-service software upgrades to ensure that, you can do everything in a software controlled way. On ADM, you start with APIs, style books, config jobs, go on to monitor and you do analytics using AI ML, and then, do the day-to-day operations, automation of day-to-day operations. Similarly, on cloud SDN front, like you have all the cloud integrations with the top 3, and we have got integrations with the core SDN providers like Cisco ACI and VMware vSphere, vCenter, or the VMC use cases on the cloud. And then on the cloud native end, obviously, in cloud native world, it's very much orchestrated using Kubernetes as a core orchestration tier. We have got the Citrix Ingress Controller, which helps with automation. We have got the observability exporter, which helps you take out the insights and data to the cloud native ecosystem. And then we have done a bunch of other proxy changes or enhancements like Canary, which helps you automate the entire workflow in a cloud native deployment. Now, where are we kind of getting towards, right? So as I outlined in the beginning, our real intent is to go behind, very super simplified, automation-friendly, intent-driven networks, which you can call it as an autonomous network, and where there are very few chances of making errors. There is no manual intervention. It's consistent across hybrid multi-cloud posture. So when we look at the Citrix application fabric, the autonomous networks would go from defining the intent, which gets translated into policies and configs, and do a fabric-wide orchestration across your private and public cloud. You don't have to worry about the appliances and underlying technology, and there is a self-correcting engine, which we also call the self-healing engine, which kind of takes care of the issues in the application delivery and security networks, as well as on the engine itself. If we figure out the issues, what we do is like we go and take the self-correcting, self-healing action. So it's a closed loop essentially, right? And that's what you need in the core, DevOps or net DevOps or sec DevOps principles to lead towards a complete autonomous network for application delivery. I very quickly want to talk about a quick use case of how we see this vision using intent-driven application delivery logic. A very very simple vision is like you could have a intent to provide best user experience for users coming from different geographies, different locations. Then the Citrix application fabric using the intent-driven engine, what we do is to figure out, hey, where the users are. Number one thing, if your intent is to provide best user experience, rather than worrying about the application stack, we first start with where the users are, right? Can I ensure that all the users connected through different locations can get the best possible experience, right? Then you determine optimal locations where you want to put the application stack or application delivery and security stack, right? Based on where your users are. And in this world of cloud and in this world of edge, you have the choice of orchestrating your network closer to the users, which kind of helps with application delivery and faster response time. And then you start to deploy, provision, configure the ADCs and the security posture for applications to be delivered to these end users. And all in all, throughout the entire life cycle, you are doing monitoring based on the load. You decide whether you want to do scale up, scale down, and based on the real-time insights, you take the self-healing or self-correcting actions to provide the best user experience to your end users, right? So this is how the entire vision of autonomous networks using intent-driven mechanism kind of pulls together and works like a single seamless ecosystem. Now, where do you really get started? So for all the developers on the call, you can get started at the Citrix developer docs. We have a Citrix networking page there where you can find all the resources. And as we work through our vision, we're going to come back and update this location with more and more forward-looking vision and the data and automation friendly work which we are doing. We'll continue to update this page. So feel free to keep it like as your bookmark, and feel free to reach out to us if you want to understand more about the vision of autonomous network and how we're going to help your DevOps as well as the net and sec DevOps user base in your enterprise to lead towards error-free, no manual, completely automated, intent-driven autonomous networks, which can ensure that we can provide you the business SLAs and we can provide you the business insights to make the right decisions and understand how your application delivery and security experience is. So with that, I kind of come towards the end of my session, but I really encourage you to go and take a look at the other Citrix networking and Citrix workspace and analytics sessions, which will provide you a lot more details on, like specifically the Citrix networking sessions will provide you a lot more details on what I talked about around the Citrix ADC, Citrix ADM, the observability exporter, the canary deployments, and the other hybrid multi-cloud automation use cases. We are covering all of them in depth. So have a really good Converge. Enjoy your time watching the online sessions and interact with us, interact with the Citrix family, and we are here to help. Have a great day and stay safe. Thank you very much.